Yeah, it should be good now. So, yeah, I've been working on this for a while, and then Streamlabs had a bunch of really weird issues. I had to reset my laptop to fix it, but it should be good now. So, yeah, this is going to be the update to the Wii Fit Trainer Guide. I think I announced it almost a week ago, not a week ago. Um, so, yeah, I guess let's go ahead and get started. But yeah, the reason I'm updating the guides, if you don't know why I update the guides, that I've been updating is because I just don't really like how they turned out originally and would think I can do a bit better. So, yeah, just gonna be going over some stuff with Wii Fit Trainer. So, pretty good, like running speed and like dashing, dash around. Hey, although a lot of your game not really gonna be moving too much, unless you have deep breathing active. But a lot of the game you can just spend off stage, kind of using soccer ball at ledge. You can also do some special soccer ball cancels that I'll talk about later. But yeah, for now I'm just gonna go over general moveset. So like with jabs and tilts. So yeah, with Wii Fit Trainer's jab, it's a 3-hit jab. You have that little barrier effect that can happen, but if it's not spaced properly or if it's on a platform, then sometimes it won't vary like that. So you do have to be aware of that. It can also trip on jab 3, although I've only seen it happen once, and it was a really weird situation that caused it to happen, so I don't really know why, but yeah, that's just something that you could watch out for. Dash attack's okay. Like, I mainly just use it if I'm trying to approach with deep breathing, and I've been approaching with aerials or with soccer ball, just dash attack for a mix-up. It can kill at decently high percents, but it's not going to be too useful for that kind of stuff. But yeah, it could have a use with the soccer ball. There we go. With that angle, as it can be used to cover the high recoveries pretty quickly, but there are other options as well that I prefer to use, kind of like a forward tilt, although in the opposite direction, which I'll go over when I go more into the ball canceling. So, yeah, with your tilts, you've got up tilt, which basically just has this hitbox in the air. It does have hitboxes on Wii Fit Trainer's sides, although they're really difficult to hit short characters with, as you can see. You pretty much have to walk into them, or you can try to turn around and get the up tilt while the send them behind you, so you have to be aware of that. With forward tilt, it has 2 hitboxes. It has a hitbox on the front, and it has a hitbox on the back, that both work a bit differently. The hitbox on the back sends upward, so you can get small juggle going, and if you have deep breathing, it can be used to build up some decent damage off of just a simple string like that at about 53%. But yeah, with the forward hit of forward tilt, it does just send opponents away, so it's just kind of like a faster forward smash, although forward smash is a lot stronger. Forward tilt is just a bit safer to throw out. Plus it has that back hit that can be useful for combos. But both hits do the same amount of damage, so... and I did forget to mention that up tilt can throw combo into itself at certain percents. Yeah, it's just dependent on that. And also the characters, because I find that it doesn't really work that well with small characters. Like, I was testing it on Mega Man a second ago, and it did work perfectly fine, but with Toon Link it appears that it's a bit harder to do just due to the way that the hitbox is on up tilt. With down tilt is kind of laggy on the ending frames of the move, so it can be a bit dangerous throughout. It's a lot faster than forward smash, or I mean not forward smash, down smash, but really doesn't do too much. It's got a bit of range. It does send you forward and makes you crouch, which is kind of nice to get a low hitbox, but outside of that it's really not got that much use except out of ball canceling to stop mid recoveries. And then it can also send a bit lower underneath the stage as well. With the ball, you can't really see because it's going off screen, but eventually the ball will despawn if you do certain ones, so that might be a bit better for covering some mid angles if they're further away. So yeah, that covers tilts. Then you have your smash attacks, which would be up smash, down smash, and forward smash. Up smash has a bit of invincibility on the first few frames of it. Not see shuffling, I just turn on invincibility. Yeah, I'll slow it down so you can see it. As you can see there, you can actually use that to get through moves. It's pretty easy to do as well. I find, even though it doesn't really last that long, on the move, you can see here if I slow it down, you can see it's about like 4 frames maybe of invincibility. And it's pretty fast, so if somebody's trying to land on you with a aerial, then you can just throw that out very quickly and be able to get around them. Then you have forward smash, which has a forward and a back hitbox. Although the back one, your opponent has to be walked into to be able to land it, so maybe if I set the CPU to be walking, then there we go. But it pretty much does the same thing on both sides, so it's not too important that the back hitbox is there, except unless you're trying to cover someone behind you. But yeah, it's kind of useful for that, as not many forward smashes can cover both behind you and in front of you. And the ones that do don't really look like they should, kind of like with Marth's forward smash. But yeah, it is one of the few ones that can do that. And then you have down smash, which is kind of fast and powerful. But the thing about it that's pretty useful is that it has a hitbox on both sides and has a lot of range. Like forward smash has some good range as well, but down smash, you can see Weave Trainer stretches her whole body pretty much to be able to cover both sides. Compared that to down tilt, where she kind of brings her knees up and keeps her kind of body a lot closer compared to down smash. So it just covers a lot more range. So yeah, then you have your specials, which is going to be your special, which is some salutation. All it does is just charge a projectile that you can fire, but it can also heal you a bit, unless you don't charge it up that much. The healing's not too useful. It's not like you should just charge a move constantly and then just heal yourself. It doesn't really heal enough percent for you to be able to have full health, or get back to like 0% from 100% or anything like that. But, I guess it could save you in certain situations to have a bit more health. That can kind of build up over time just through you using neutral special, but it's not too much. It's about like a 1% heal, so I can turn up my damage to be able to show. You can see it's 2% there. So, yeah, and then that's kind of the same thing with the next move I'm going to show, which is down special, which, with down special, you, charge up, like, a ring, and then it will go into the center, and whenever it touches the center, that's when you want to hit the B or A button, to be able to get a small buff, as well as a bit of HP back. But yeah, you get a small buff to your damage output, so, moves like neutral air and stuff will do a lot more damage with their combos. So if I do, or hits neutral air into neutral air here, there we go. As you can see, it does about 25%, and then I got like an up tilt back air out of a string off of it, and it did about 68.1% damage, which isn't too bad for just a few hits. You can use that to build up a lot of damage, and it buffs all moves, so that's including moves like forward smash and down smash, so it will just increase the percent knockback of the moves. With slide special, it is soccer ball, so you can cancel the soccer ball by hitting the shield button, and that will allow you to hit it at different angles with certain moves. So I like to use jab 1 whenever I'm approaching. This is jab 1 there. It hits the soccer ball pretty consistently as well, so it's not too hard to do. So yeah, if you just, or all you have to do is just slide special and then just tap A and you'll be able to do it. And it rolls the ball close to the ground and pretty slowly, so if people aren't really jumping a lot and they're playing a lot more grounded, you can use that to force them to jump or force them to shield and try to parry it or something. Spot dodge it maybe. But it will allow you to approach and get a punish pretty easily. Then you just have regular forward tilt. very similar to like down tilt, although if you zoom out the camera here to fix, you can kind of see the differences. You can see there, down tilt's a bit slower, but they cover a very similar angle. And then you've also got your forward tilt, which to do that, or the other side of forward tilt I'm referring to do that you have to slide special the opposite way and then forward tilt towards your opponent. So you slide special away and then forward tilt, and that will cover higher recoveries very well. And it also reaches about down to where Wii Fit Trainer is over there to be able to hit opponents. Those are the main ones that I use as Wii Fit Trainer, although there are other ones, like neutral air, for example. Then you also just have, or that was a second ago, just standard short hop neutral air. I am just barely missing it there, that's what the sparks indicate. But yeah, that covers an angle behind you, or in front of you, depending on which way you're facing. And if you use neutral air to basically, or you can use it basically to just confuse your opponents, as you can turn around very quickly and cover behind you if they're trying to cross you up, or you can stay forward and cover in front of you. And then you have up tilt as well. Up tilt will send just directly upward pretty much, and it's a bit slow. Although, I'm going to be barely missing the soccer ball there. As you can see, up tilt will also cover behind you just depending on where you hit the move with your hand. Yeah, up smash is pretty much the same way but a bit faster. And it also gives you a bit of invincibility for 4 frames or so. So yeah, that's basically going to be ball canceling there. You can test other moves as well to find what angles you like, but those are just the main ones that I use. So yeah, that's going to be the basics of Wii Fit Trainer's moveset. And then you have up special, which up special, it kind of changes speeds depending on how you press B. So if I don't press B at all, as you can see, it's pretty slow and it doesn't really travel that far. If I zoom out the camera again, then you can see it pretty well. So it just covers a decent distance, but if I spam B, it will go much higher and it will also be much faster. Using the spamming B is useful because it can hit twice out of shield. You can see there. But if you use the fast one, you can see there, it was able to hit twice, but earlier I was finding at high percents it struggled to hit twice compared to the slower version. So yeah, just gonna set that back to the normal camera. So yeah, that's going to be the basics of Wii Fit Trainer moveset. Then you have your grabs. So you do have a bit of grab combos out of down throw. I was showing up throw there as it can be used to juggle, which Wii Fit Trainer does have pretty good juggling ability. But yeah, and then you can use your aerials to juggle, which I didn't go over, but your aerials are basically just up air, down air, back air, neutral air, and forward air. So, with neutral air, it has kind of 2 hitboxes, you can see there, and it can combo into itself, which is like a short hop neutral air, even if you only hit 1 hit, like I did there. And it actually does a pretty good amount of damage just for a 2-hit combo, or even just a single neutral air itself does 14%, I believe, so it's not too bad. That's if you get the neutral air just single hit into neutral air. Double hit, it will do about 20%. As you can see there, I was able to get the double hit twice, and it did 31%. Although it wasn't a true combo in that scenario. Yeah, with up air, you can hit a grounded up air, although it's a bit harder to do on small characters. But yeah, it just sends upwards and a bit away, which makes it kind of hard to combo into itself at lower percents, but at higher percents it works a lot better. And then, as I said, it works a lot better with tall characters as well if you're doing a falling up air, but with a rising up air, it's just mainly useful for juggling. So yeah, went for a down air there. And then I did forget to mention that you can also just change the speed of the soccer ball hits as well to get different effects. So if you don't cancel the soccer ball and you just want to do a regular hit, if you wait, it will go more towards the ground, which can be useful for bouncing it off the stage into the ledge and covering really low recoveries. or just hitting someone that's trying to jump over the soccer ball from a distance. Like if they jump about where Toon Link's standing from where I hit it, then they will be hit by the projectile. But if you do it fast, it will cover a lot higher. So it just depends on the speed on how you hit it. And then if you use the soccer ball and it's still on stage, you can't use it again. Although Slide Special does have a spike hitbox on Wii Fit Trainer set, which is kind of hard to hit if the soccer ball is still present, but when it's gone, it's pretty easy to hit as long as your opponent is jumping, which Toon Link's standing pretty stationary, so that's not going to happen. Then you have Down Air. Down Air does have a spike, although, see it's actually pretty simple to hit it. I'm just not hitting the spike hitbox on stage. But yeah, it has a pretty good amount of range in it. The good thing about it, compared to other spikes, is that it's fast. So if I knock Toon Link off stage, I went off stage a bit too early there, as you can tell, but could have hit it. And then it also has a pretty good amount of kill power, just to the normal hit as well. So yeah, yeah, it basically just has a spike hitbox, which is useful for edge guarding off stage, and then on stage you can actually just hit someone on the ledge like that to be able to knock them off stage pretty easily. Then with back air is very fast on startup, although it does have a bit of ending lag on the air where it takes a long time to be able to perform another move after you do a back air compared to like forward air. As you can see, I can do a double forward air very quickly, but I pretty much have to touch the ground to do a back air. So that's the one bad thing about it, but it is very strong, and it can be comboed out of down throw very easily. You can see there, just because down throw isn't behind you. With forward air, it has a few hitboxes, so you have the hitbox on Wii Fit Trainer's back foot, which does have a spike hitbox, although it's not really going to spike into stage that well, and it's not that easy of a spike hit either, just because you have to be facing away from your opponent to be able to land it and then forward air. And some people would just rather down air or back air, but it does still have some use, as it can be used in football for ball canceling to get that hitbox there. And then you also have just the standard hit of forward air, which you can see sends up and away, which can be useful for edge guarding. Or out of up throws as well. Although, not really going to be minding it. There we go. That was the back hit of forward air spiking, and then that's just a standard forward air hit there. So I just had to get the percent a bit higher was all. But yeah, with forward throw, because I didn't really finish covering the throws, I basically just covered down throw and up throw. With forward throw, it just sends up and away a bit, or a bit up but more away. And it's kind of useful for sending someone off stage if you run up and grab them like that, tech chase. And kind of the same thing with back throw, although back throw doesn't really send as up as it does away. So it's much more useful for sending someone off stage pretty far. But yeah, another good thing with down special I forgot to mention was that it does stall your air. Like it stalls you in the air, same thing with slide special. So if you perform these moves in the air, you can kind of change how you're going to land. And then you can also jump out of them. Or you sort of jump out of it as soon as you've performed the move. You can see it there. But if you do it like this, then you're not going to be able to jump out of it. And then also, if you miss down special, I'll show you here, then you have a bit of an lag on the move where you can be punished. But it's pretty fast, so you will probably just be able to dodge any option your opponent's going to throw at you unless they read that you're going to miss it. So yeah, now for neutral. So with Wii Fit Trainer, Wii Fit Trainer usually just kind of camps at the ledge. Wii Fit Trainer has one of the best ledge games in the entire game, if not the best. just due to how she can control the ledge pretty easily. I don't mean ledge trapping, but I just mean being off stage and controlling the ledge. Leaf Returner can fire soccer balls from the ledge, just to be able to hit people and kind of just poke them from pretty far. You can do that where you get the soccer ball hit and spike hit to be able to get back onto stage pretty easily, if you'd rather just approach them. Leaf Returner's down air is pretty easy to hit off stage, and you can still recover after performing it, and then you can just perform pretty much any aerial just at the ledge. And Leaf Returner's aerials cover the ledge pretty well. Yeah, mess that up, but you can even do something like that, where you just get deep breathing off stage at the ledge, and then you slide special onto the ledge to be able to recover from disadvantage. So yeah, now for some combos. I already mentioned that neutral air combos into itself, but it pretty much combos into all of Leaf Returner's aerials, which is a really good combo starter. And also leads into juggling. So that was spike from there. It does kind of cover Leaf Returner's side, so that's how I was able to hit it. That's usually how I hit it, but I was just messing up earlier. But yeah, with neutral air, you've got neutral air to up tilt at lower percents. Works a lot better than neutral air to neutral air, but then at mid percent, neutral air to neutral air is going to work. Although there I only got a single hit on both of them. If you use deep breathing, then you can get a lot more damage out of your combos. I meant to get double hit neutral air there, but yeah, you can do double hit neutral air into up tilt into like an up air for the, or it strings into up air, but the neutral air into up tilt is true. You can do neutral air into neutral air for a good amount of damage. You can do like a neutral air into a grab if you get the second hit. So that time I only get second hit. And then it also depends on how your opponent DIs and where you land on them. Because if you land behind them, then you're gonna have to turn around to grab. Or if you get single hit. But if you get the second hit, then it's a bit easier to get the grab, although I kind of keep messing that up. So yeah, that's kind of just basic Leaf Returner combos. You have down throw back air as another one. It combos into the strong hit at mid percents, and then at higher percents it combos into weak hit. But yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for the guide. Just wanted to basically just go over Leaf Returner's movesets again, and just kind of explain them a lot better, as I feel like I did pretty, it's not that great of a job in the original one. So yeah, that's going to be it for now. I will be back pretty soon. I just have to set up the next stream. So yeah, I guess I will see everyone.